Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Shall we start the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yesterday, I already discussed about what advice can be given to the mothers on the successful breastfeeding, and what is the supplementary and the complementary feeding, and what are the some of the specific problem areas during the lactation. Okay. About the nutrition.
मैम वॉइस
During the
पॉज
infant and
ହେଇଯାଉଛି
the preschool age.
कटी कटी जाଉଛି କଥା ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି ଠିକ से
काली क्लास रे हमें ऑलरेडी प्रेगनेंसी और लैक्टेशन विषय रे हम टोटल डिस्कशन करिथि.
यस मैम
लास्ट क्लास रे
ना
सो जो वॉइस
ना मैम पॉज पूरा ହେଇଗଲା
सुने हो. ओके ठीक वेट कर मैं विंडो खोल ले. Am I audible to everyone?
यस मैम
Okay, last class I
Yes,
already discussed about the what is the problem arises during the
ସେ क्वेश्चन जो କହିଲି इनकम्प्लीट करছো कंप्लीट कराओ
lactational period, and what is the diet requirement during the pregnancy and the lactation. Yes or no?
Excuse me, ma'am, ଟିକେ କଟି କଟି ଯାଉଛି ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଫୁଲ୍ ଆସୁନି.
Okay. ଏବେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
यस मैम
What are the diet requirement during the pregnancy and lactation? I already discussed about that. And what is supplementary feeding? And what is the problem arises during the breastfeeding or the during the lactational period? Yes or no?
यस
Today I will discuss about the preschool children diets. Okay, what is the dietary requirement during the preschool going children's and during the infancy also. Mainly nutrition during the preschool age and during the infant period. First is the supplementary feeding for young children, and feeding young children when risks also, when sick they are. And preschool age period is the very critical period, what is the proper nutrition or the balanced nutrition for the preschool age, and how we will do the growth monitoring and common nutrition programs in the preschools and their solution also. How should we feed the young children? uh, about how you can maintain the mothers on the successful breastfeeding that their babies to improve and maintain the health of the babies. And first, I will discuss about the what is the supplementary feeding. Supplementary feeding तो अपन समझते जानी थी बे. What do you mean by supplementary feeding? And when we will start the supplementary feeding?
Ma'am, after 6 months.
Yes, very good. That is called the weaning diet or the supplementary feeding. Tell me the example of the supplementary feeding.
Ma'am, pulses water, then vegetable soup.
Initially, shall you start all these things for the supplementary feeding for the infants?
Ma'am, डाली पानी जोटा कहते डाली पानी दे परिबा परिवार सिझा पानी.
Very good. First, we will start from the what?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, kanji water, otherwise dal water, otherwise any use the what? Other supplementary feeding like the any kind of porridge form, like the ragi kheer or ragi porridge. Otherwise, you can implement the what? Sagu porridge. Suji porridge, otherwise very thin form khichdi also you can introduce the what? Semi solid form that in the liquid form you first introduce a chapati also, chapati with milk also. Okay, these all are the supplementary feeding, and mainly supplementary feeding is the very excellent uh, uh, first we after the end for the development of the what our body immunity, this requirement, the diet requirement, the overall requirements of the nutrition will be increases, because at that time the body the physical activity of the baby will be increases, and the requirement of the calories also increases, and the baby grow sufficiently, and other food needs to be given in addition to the breast milk. एमती नुह जे आम जब ब्रेस्ट मिल्क छाड़ीदबा एंड ओनली आम सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग को स्टार्ट कर, दिस नॉट द प्रॉपर वे. Along with the breastfeed, we have to formulate some extra supplementary feeding. Otherwise, if we have no time, then we can introduce the any kind of formula-based food also. Okay, what is formula-based food? What do you mean by formula-based food?
Ma'am, like with that non-pro, we are giving that.
Yes, some that commercialization that supplement that formula feed is mainly available in the market. Understood?
Yes,
That
yes, ma'am.
Prosure, Non-Pro, different types of brand is available. Pentasure
Yes,
also. So
yes,
you
ma'am.
can administer that also, but it's very good not to depend for the formula feed. Only you have to depend for the supplementary feeding, and that feed you should be prepared from your home only. Home means that means from your kitchen side only. It's very good for the baby. And when new foods are introduced to the baby now, other than the mother's milk, the elimination of the breast milk will be gradually accomplished. And when we will start this complementary feeding. Baby can eat and swallow food other than the liquid by the sucking. After the 6 month only, we will start the complementary feeding. And at that time, baby begins to get interested in the surrounding that makes the feeding easier, and store the nutrient like the iron, etc. begin to get exhausted. That's why after 6 months only we will start the supplementary feeding. After 6 months, the breast milk is not sufficient to meet the growth and the demands, and before 6 months, cessation of the breast milk may cause the disadvantages. That's why up to the 6 months of after delivery, exclusive breastfeeding is very good for the not only for the mother but also for the infant also. And that baby requires more energy, more protein, and more nutrient than the breast milk alone can supply. And what to feed during at the and in the supplementary feeding, what we will be included in the supplementary feeding. That means what to feed in the supplementary feeding. We while we are choosing the any kind of diet during the supplementary feeding, we have to focus on the diet variety of food should be will include, and foods rich in the vitamin C feeding. Without all these things, the feeding will be not fulfill the requirement of the baby. Understood? That's why while we are formulating the supplementary feeding, we should focus upon the diet like that food should be very easy for the expensive and something to the practical mother to do like means to in the supplementary feeding. The feeding should be prepared very easy. And foods rich in protein, vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, and calcium is highly required during the infancy period. And mainly, they are the very key vitamins and nutrients in the baby diet, because vitamin iron and vitamin C are not provided by the milk. Milk is vitamin C is in the milk. It is absence of vitamin C, and iron is also not present in the milk. That's why while we are formulating the supplementary feeding, we should focus upon these vitamins like the irons and the vitamin C. Because if we will not provide the vitamin C rich food or the iron rich food, the baby may be deficiency of that two minerals, and that causes the so many disorder. And so we must concentrate on the vitamin C rich food and the iron also. Easy to digest. That means the first new foods that baby eat should be very soft. Okay. Earlier I already told to you initially we will not start from the very means earlier in the first 6 months, baby only depends upon the exclusive breastfeeding. If we will when we will start the supplementary feeding, if we will initially start the any kind of raw food or any kind of highly that high calorie, high protein diet, the baby will be not absorb it properly. It will exert the extra pressure upon the GI tract of the what infant. That's why whatever you are formulating in the supplementary feeding, you should focus that food should be very easy for the absorption, easy for what I want to say. बुझी होगी ना कथा?
मैम बहुत कथा कटि जाउची टिके टिके आसुची. यस मैम
कटि
बहुत
जाउची
कथा
कथा?
कटि जाउची टिके टिके ही आसुची.
मैडम आपनको वॉइस ब्रेक होची.
आपण मन सेटल हेले मते केमति किछि प्रॉब्लम
मैम आपण कंटिन्यूस चलेछन त मु दी थर इंटरप्ट करे चाहला को तपर देखुची आपण को कहलानी भी दी थर से होची तो सेते के आ किछि कहले एवरी माने गोटे सेंटेंस रे जहाले भी इंटरप्ट होची. आज्ञा
ए सुना अछि क्लियर अछि खेले
Yes, ma'am.
ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର ଅଛି? ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଏବେ ଯାହା ମୁଁ ପଢେଇଲି କି ଶୁଣିଛ ନା ଶୁଣିନା ନା ମୁଁ ଏଗେନ୍ ପୁଣି ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ
Ma'am,
କରିବି କୁହନ୍ତୁ ମତେ।
ଗୋଟେ
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ ବି
ଶୁଣିନୁ,
କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ
ସବୁ
ହେଇନି।
କଟି ଯାଉଛି କଥା।
ଗୋଟେ ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ
ଶୁଣା
କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ
ଯାଉନଥିଲା
ହେଇନି। ଆଜ୍ଞା।
because what I am discussing right now, it's very important, very vital. Understood what I want to say? तो যদি न ଶୁଣିଛନ୍ତି then again I will start.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆଉ ଥରେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ।
ଯଦି ବି ନ ଶୁଣାଯିବ ମତେ again ଆପଣ ମାନେ କହିବେ ହେଲା, ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ରହୁଛି ବୋଧେ। In the supplementary feeding, what to feed? Okay, while formulating the supplementary feeding for infants, now we have to focus upon that food should be contains the high energy food. Okay, and that food also contains the foods rich in protein, iron, calcium, vitamin C and vitamin A, and it is also easy to the digest, and that diet should be pure and clean, inexpensive and easy to prepare also. Variety of foods we have to include in the supplementary feeding. Okay, and ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ଏବେ ଆପଣ ମାନଙ୍କୁ?
Yes, ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Okay, high energy food. While we are formulating the supplementary feeding, we will first our focus should be in the high energy food. That means mainly the young children need the high energy, and you will got the energy from the cereals only. Step-by cereals are available, abundantly available in the market, and that is the way these cereals are the very good sources of the energy. That's why while you are formulating the any kind of that complementary feeding, now you have main focus upon the your energy dense food. That diet should be contains the energy rich food, and you will got the energy from the cereals only, and fats is also there, good quality of oils is also there, and sugar is also the very good sources of high energy. And while you are formulating this supplementary feeding, you should focus upon the sources of the fat, oils, sugar are the very good sources of the energy, but should be used in the very limited quantity. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes, ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର ହଉଛି ନା ଭଏସ ପୁରା?
Yes, ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର ହଉଛି।
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ଓକେ, ହଁ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ କ୍ଲିୟର ନ ହବ ଆପଣ ସେଇଠୁ ହିଁ ବ୍ରେକ୍ କରିବେ, ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ ନା ନାଇଁ? ଆଉ ଆଗକୁ ମୁଁ କହି ଚାଲିବି, ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଆପଣ ନ ଶୁଣିକି ରହିକି ଲାଭ ନାହିଁ। And while we are formulating the supplementary feeding, we should focus upon the food rich in the vitamin C, iron, calcium, vitamin A, and the protein. Because in our baby diet, na baby only up to the 6 month of age, na the infant only she is taking the what? Baby only depends upon the exclusive breastfeeding. But breast milk is the whatever either the breast milk, otherwise the other sources of any other milk that does not contain any kind of iron or vitamin C. That means milk is the devoid of the vitamin C and iron. That's why while you are formulating
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କଟି ଗଲା।
the supplementary feeding, you should focus upon that only. That means you should include in that diet iron along with the only ପିଲାକୁ only breastfeeding ଆମେ କରିନଉ,
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
ଯୋଉମାନେ
କଟିଗଲା, କିଛି
ବେଶୀ ଥାଏ ଆମେ
ପୁଣି
କଣ
କଟିଗଲା।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହେଲା।
ଓକେ, ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା ଏବେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାଡାମ।
ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ 6 month ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବେବି ଓନ୍ଲି ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁସିଭ, ଏବେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ପୁରା କ୍ଲିୟର?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଁ
ୟେସ୍
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଏବେ ଶୁଭୁଛି।
ଓକେ, ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା ଅପ୍ ଟୁ 6 month ସାର୍ କିଛି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ସାର୍?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ
ଅପ୍ ଟୁ
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
6 month
କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ
ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁସିଭ, ହଁ ଅପ୍ ଟୁ 6 month ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁସିଭ ବ୍ରେଷ୍ଟ ଫିଡିଂ ଉପରେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରିଥାନ୍ତି। ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର ବି ବ୍ରେଷ୍ଟ ଫିଡିଂ ଇଜ ନଟ୍ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍, ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ ଅପନ୍ ଦ what? Upon the what? Formula feed or any other sources of the milk. But that milk is not contains the vitamin C and iron. That's why when you are introduced that the supplementary feeding, then you should focus upon that two main minerals, because it is very highly essential during the infancy period. And that two minerals is the first one is the iron and the second one is your vitamin C. Because in the milk itself is a very good complete feed. Okay na, complete feed बोले मिल्क को कहि परिबा because in milk रे आपण माने देखिबे एमति कोन से vitamins minerals नाही जोथिरे कि milk रे आपण पाइबेनी. Every vitamins, minerals, micro and macronutrient will present in our milk. That's why na milk को हमें गोटे complete feed बोली को complete food बोली भी हमें कहता हूँ. कहूना नहीं हमें ताको.
Yes, yes.
किंतु सेथरे मेन दुईटा मिनरल्स आपनकर कमी थाए से होची आपनकर विटामिन सी एंड आयरन बुझियला सेथ पे आपन माने देखिथिबे जते बेले छुआ आफ्टर डिलीवरी प्रथमे आपण मन से समय मध्ये पिलां को दिया था आयरन सिरप एंड कैल्शियम सिरप दिया हेतो अछि ना नहीं पिलां को.
Yes ma'am.
कोन पे दउछन कारण जानि छथि जे एई दीटा न्यूट्रिएंट रो डेफिसिट रहउछि मदर्स मिल्क रे say not only in the mother's milk, cow milk ho, goat milk ho, soya milk ho, any other milk also it does not contain these two minerals. That's why you are introducing the supplementary feeding after the 6 months of the baby na you should focus upon these two nutrients. Okay, you should focus upon the iron and the vitamin C. If in the diet vitamin C will be not properly present na it will not
Madam again
absorb the iron
सेमती
properly.
हला. Madam again सेमती हला टी रिपीट करो.
हाँ मु कहया करा जदि आपण माने जानि गय जे 6 मंथ भितर हमर बेबी रो एटा न्यूट्रिएंट कमी रहउची जदि भी आपण माने आगो 6 मंथ परे जे आपण को डाइट रे एटी जेतले हम फार्मूला फीड जेतले कॉम्प्लीमेंट फीडिंग निज घर प्रिपरेशन करके दोचंते आपण केबे भाबिबेनी जे मु टिके अळा दे देली किबा मु टिके कमला रो रस बाहर करके दे देली किबा मु किछि लेंबू रो रस बाहर करके दे देली तो पिला रो सेटा खराब बिल्कुल से नो बिकॉज़ एटा रे कोनोसी आपण को गैस्ट्रिक इरिटेशन हबनी कि कोनोसी प्रकार कॉम्प्लिकेशन हबनी बिकॉज़ दैट विटामिन सी इज हाईली रिक्वायर्ड फॉर योर बॉडी. एबे सुना जाउची आपण को मो कथा.
Yes ma'am.
आगे मैम
तो से आपण निहाती रूपे आपणकर जो 6 मंथ परठू जहाँ भी डाइट फॉर्मुलेट करछंती आज सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग आपण से दीटा न्यूट्रिएंट को अधिक फोकस करिवे. एमती आपणक साइकोलॉजी आ पूर्व क्लास रे म आपण मन को कहितली केबे मध्ये आपण भाबिबेनी जे एइटा दे दिले सेइटा हे जिवो सेइटा दे दिले सेइटा जी जति जेमती आपण मन को के कहउथबो जॉन्डिस हे जे हळदी दबनी सुनिछन ना नै आपण.
Yes ma'am.
आगे मैम
बस हाँ ठंडा होची फल खाइबनी सुनिछन ना नै.
आगे आगे
ब्रोंकाइटिस अच्छी आस्थमा अच्छी यूआरटीआई एलआरटी अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन अच्छी या लोअर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन अच्छी तो आपण माने आमला खाइबेनी विटामिन सी रिच फूड लाइक द जो भी सावर फूड हमरे रहछि से सब जिंस को अवॉइड करिवे बिकॉज़ यू आर हैविंग द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन. बट कोठी किछि अछि कि आपनकर सेमति किछि माने रिसर्च पेपर किछि अछि कि जोतरे कि कंप्लीटली रिसर्च बेस्ड अछि जे एवडा खाइले एवडा होछि बोली आपण को जे जहा कहले मते प्रथमे आपण न्यूट्रिशनली ताको फाइंड आउट करिवे केते दूर सेटा ठीक केते दूर सेटा नै. आपण जानिबा दरकार जे जेतबे ठंडा होछि कफ होछि बे देखुथिबे कोरोना रे जेतल 2020 रे कोरोना आरंभ होले सेतले आपण प्रथम मेडिसिन कोन बोली खाउथि लोक
हल्दी.
हां इवन जेतबे आपणकर कोरोना माने कोन से मेडिकेशन ताहार कोरोना जदि न भी होतले से माने विटामिन सी खाइ जाउतले आ जे टैबलेट फॉर यस और नो.
यस मैम
तो विटामिन सी टा आपणक पई समस्तक पई जे हाईली रिक्वायर्ड. ओके मु जोटी ब्रेक ऑफ वॉइस मते कहिबे एंड फूड्स रिच इन द प्रोटीन विटामिन ए विटामिन सी आयरन एंड कैल्शियम इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट फॉर अ बेबी and vitamin C and iron are not provided by the milk in enough amount, so you must concentrate on these also and easy to digest.
पुनी वॉइस ब्रेक हैला मैडम
करू नथबा पूरा जणे कहले आपण मन पचे सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग में कोन टू 6 मंथ पर्यंत only it will depend upon breast milk only otherwise any formula feed if directly will introduce the pulses from then what will happen?
They will have a stomach upset.
whether that body will be absorb the pulses directly.
मैम कटी कटी
Is it
जाଉଛି मैम कटी जाଉଛି
पूरा कटि
ଆପଣ
ଯାଇଥିଲା madam।
ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ
okay?
ଭିଟାମିନ୍स କହୁଥିଲେ ସବୁ ପ୍ରକାର ଦବାଠୁ ଆପଣ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଏଇଟା କହିଲେ ପଲସେସ୍ ଦବା ଯାଏ ସବୁ କଟି ଯାଇଛି।
ଓକେ ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା ଏବେ ମୁଁ ୟା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଏବେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପଲସେସ୍ କୁ
ଭଏସ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ।
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଛି ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଏବେ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ଏବେ ଦେଖିଲେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି।
Yes, ma'am. ଶୁଣାଉଛି।
ୟେସ୍
ଓକେ ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା ମୁଁ ୟା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ପଚାରୁଥିଲି ସପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ ଫିଡିଂ ରେ ଯଦି କଣ ଦବା ତ ଜଣେ ବି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରୁ କହୁଥିଲେ ଆମେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ପଲସେସ୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା କିନ୍ତୁ ପଲସେସ୍ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ କେତେ ଦୂର ସେଇଟା ପିଲା ଡାଇଜେଷ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ କି
नो मैम
No, because now
No, ma'am.
pulses, it not only it contains the high protein is there along with the protein it also contains the other macro and micronutrient highly. But initially ଆମେ जो प्रकार डाइट ओनली मिल्क रे ताकू देइथिबा तो डायरेक्टली जदी हाई सोर्सेस ए सब जिंस दबा ताले बॉडी पिलर कोन हबो पेट फुलेई दबो लूज मोशन हबो इंडाइजेशन हबो वोमिटिंग हबो ए सब कॉम्प्लिकेशन पिलर स्टार्ट हबो दैट्स वे आम तो सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग दौथबा सब बेले फोकस करबा इजी फॉर द डाइजेशन आम एमती के खाद्य ताको फॉर्मुलेट करबा जेमती कि पिलार कोनोसी जीआई ट्रैक्ट रे ता खाद्य नली रे कोनोसी इंपैक्ट पको नथबो फॉर द डाइजेशन इट विल नॉट क्रिएट एनी काइंड ऑफ डाइजेस्टिव इश्यू बुझिएला
यस
Yes,
मैम
ma'am.
easy to the digest because the first new foods that babies eat na should be very soft and easy to digest. For example, like khichdi yeah any kind of soup or porridge. Okay. And the diet should be very pure and clean. Baby's food should be as fresh as possible in homes where foods cannot be kept cold very easily. And baby's food must be cooked before each meals. आमे केबे भी भाबिबानी जे एकाथरे रोषेई करिकि थोई दबा एवं ताकू ता समय रे आमे तो काडी काडी सबु गरम करि दउथबा don't think like that inexpensive and easy to prepare many families do not have much money to spend on food taking out the baby share of the food from the main meals cooked for the family before adding a spicy does not cost more or take more time also okay सेटा भी केते जन को केस से देखा जाए and while you are formulating the supplementary feeding you should be focused on the variety of foods means increasing the variety in the diets of your young child leads to very balanced diet as well as it stimulates the acceptance of the new foods and keeping the infants on the monotonous signal grain diet and has been shown to cause the growth retardation and a loss of interest in the food. Enough of combination of the foods like more than one cereal and pulses, more than one pulses in a recipe will provide the nutrient the young child needs for proper growth and the development. This is all about your complementary feeding and what points should be kept in the mind during the complementary feeding in the complementary feeding, there is need to educate the mother to make better use of the available resources. Okay, whatever available in your surrounding, you have to use only that food sources. Mainly the combination like two cereals, pulses, cereals and pulses, cereals with the vegetables, pulses with the vegetables, 2 or 3 vegetables would ensure more nutritious and balanced complementary foods. आपण मान तो सब जाक माने जानी चंती ना माने फास्ट थिंग है हमें अर्ली मॉर्निंग रे ताको चेष्टा करबा जेतो अर्ली मॉर्निंग रे उठी दिबा हमें संग से ताको किछि भी खाद्य देई परिबन तो ब्रेस्ट मिल्क इज द बेस्ट choice. And during the breakfast you have to administer some kind of fruit juice, otherwise mashed fruit. Okay, so after 6 months you can administer that stewed apple also, otherwise जे कौन सी स्ट्यू एप्पल कौन बुझी पारछन तो
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
नो मैम
6 months ପରେ ତ ପିଲାର ଦାନ୍ତ ଫାନ୍ତ କିଛି ବି ନଥିବ, so initially it will ଇଟା ହଉଥିବ, ତ at that time you can administer the stew apple ମାନେ ଆମେ ଏପେଲ ଆଣିବା ତାର ଚୋପାକୁ କାଢନ୍ତୁ या ଚୋପା ଥାଉ, ଜଷ୍ଟ ନଖ ଉଷୁମ ପାଣି ଟିକେ ଫୁଟା ପାଣିରେ ତାକୁ ପକେଇ ଦେଇକି ଜଷ୍ଟ ବାହାର କରିଦେବେ, ତ ସେଇଥିରେ କଣ ହବ ଟିକେ ବଏଲ ହେଇଯିବ, ପିଲାକୁ ଡାଇଜେସନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଇଜି ହବ ଏଣ୍ଡ ସେ ପାଟିରେ ଆରାମ ସେ ଖାଇ ମଧ୍ୟ ପାରିବ, ବଟ ୟୁ ହାଭ ଟୁ ପିଲ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ଦ ସ୍କିନ୍ ଏଣ୍ଡ ରିମୁଭ୍ ଦ ସ୍କିନ୍. ओके
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ एंड आपण माने जेतेबेले फॉर्मुलेट करछंती सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग, आपण खाली एमती भाबिबेनी जे मु खाली भात को चकटी के देई दिबी कि मैं भात सहित डाली मिसे देले मोर एटा गोटे कंप्लीट फीडिंग हे गेला सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग, नॉट लाइक दैट. While you are formulating the supplementary feeding, you can administer in the supplementary feeding like cereals and pulses must be there. Not only cereal pulses, along with the cereal and pulses, from the cereals you can got that energy and you will got the what carbohydrate, but in the from the pulses we will got the what protein sources is there and other vitamins is also there, and you have to add some regional and seasonal vegetable which is applicable for the baby. Understood? आपण को रीजन रे आपण को सीजन रे को वेजिटेबल गुडा को अवेलेबल से सब जिंस को नबा, एंड यू हैव टू गोटे प्रकार पल्सेस को हमें रिपीटेडली यूज करिबेनी, सब बेले हमें वेराइटी ऑफ पल्सेस को यूज करबा, बट for the baby in supplementary feeding you should use the green gram dal is the very good sources of protein, and that's also very good for the digestion. It will not create any extra pressure upon your baby what GI tract. That's why not only don't use that always, you can rotate the dal in 7 days, you can at least 3 to 4 days you can give that green gram dal, and other remaining day you can use the other dal sources also. And not only the rice dal, along with the rice dal you have to include that some types of vegetables, locally available vegetables, and that should be in the seasonal and the regional. Along with the seasonal regional vegetables you have to include the healthy fats. That healthy fats is highly essential, because without fats na the food will be not properly well balanced and it will create also another disorder, and fat is highly required for the proper synthesis of the other organ and other metabolism also. Fat is also highly required during the infancy. That's why in the supplementary feeding you have to administer some different types of healthy fats is available in the market. You can choose the good sources of fat and you can add that good sources of fat. Example of the good sources of fat is your आमे पिला मानन को एतर आपण माने जो सिझा बनाउचंती डाली हो चावल हो, केबे त खाली डाली चावल सब बेले देबेनी, इवनिंग रे केबे केबे आपण रुटी को मध्य ओवर बॉइल माने पानी रे माने रुटी बनी सारला परे ता पानी रे पकै दियंतु, बट रुटी रे आपण टिके टिके घियो भी लगांतु, एवं सेही घियो को सेमी माने सेही जो रुटी टा को आपण सेमी ग्राइंडिंग करके खीरो टिके पकै कि ताकू मध्य आपण अदे सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग देई परिबे. एंड जेतेबेले आपण जो खिचड़ी बनाउचंती किमा पिला पई किछि गोटे पोरिस बनाउचंती खीरी भलिया, सुजी खीरी हो, सागु खीरी हो, किमा ओट्स खीरी हो, किमा आपण को चावल खीरी हो, तो ए सब जिंस आपण निहाती रूपे किछि ड्राई फ्रूट्स को निहाती रूपे खाद्य रे ऐड करंतो. आ डेली बेसिस रे जदी खिचड़ी दउचंती सेतर गोटे चमच 1.5 चमच आपण निहाती रूपे घियो टिके टिके रखंतो, 5 ml खंडे घियो ऐड करंतो, गाई रो प्योर गुआ घियो. যদি ঘিও भी ऐड करिवे ताहले कोन हो त रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट जो माने श्वास नळी सेतिरे मध्ये एते कफ हबार संभावना नै, एंड इजी हबो आपनकर कफ को एलिमिनेशन पाए. and it is also very good for the soothing of your GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. आपनकर constipation भी रहबनी पिलार easy bowel clear हे जीवा. Understood what I am say? बुझी होची?
Yes, ma'am.
सुना भी जाउची एबे ठीक से?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This is all about your complementary feeding. Complementary feeding रे गोटे दिन रे आमे पिला को निहाती रूपे 6 थर खंडे फीडिंग दबा. एमिति नो जे आमे जेंती आमे एडल्ट माने मॉर्निंग ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर करके अदर रिमेनिंग टाइम वी आर नॉट टेकिंग एनीथिंग थ्रूआउट द डे. And but for the infancy, in complementary feeding, you have to administer the first in the early morning. You can administer that breast milk, and in the breakfast or the breakfast, you can give that mashed fruits and fruit juice also in the mid morning. That means at the time of 11 or 11:30, you can introduce the porridge. Porridge माने खीरी भलिया जिंस. मु कहली को खीरी इवन आपण बार्ली खीरी भी बने की मत दे परिबा. आ अलगा अलगा वेराइटी मेंटेन करिया पे ट्राई करंतु. लंच रे यू कैन एडमिनिस्टर द ब्रेस्ट मिल्क, बट आई एम सजेस्टिंग टू यू इन द लंच टाइम यू कैन गिव द खिचड़ी. ओके, खिचड़ी पूरा पानी भलिया करके खिचड़ी जदि मन कर पूरा से न होची ताको सेमी ग्राइंडिंग करके मते घियो दे के अपन नेहाती रूपे दे देबे. एंड इवनिंग रे यू हैव टू गिव द porridge. At the bedtime you can give the breast milk. This is all about your complementary feeding. And feeding infants 12 months. First one is the breastfeed. Give the porridge in the juice, fruit juice or the mashed fruits. And at the time of the 12 months, you can introduce in the plate that idli or the soft chakuli, otherwise soft chapati also. And give the same food as the rest of the family with the slight modification, like the rice can be mashed and can be given to the child with a little plain dal also. And balanced diet for the baby. Okay, amara balanced diet baby ro kon rahba darkar. That diet should be contains the energy giving, body building and protective and regulatory. Okay, whatever you are formulating for the baby, that diet should be in the well balanced form, and that diet should be contains these three main sources of energy, like energy giving, body building, protective and the regulatory. And this diet is called the well balanced diet. And baby meals must also be balanced. The two foods combination, like you can combine chapati with the beans, otherwise rice with the fish also, bread with the eggs and rice with the dal also. And the three food combination.
मैम एनर्जी गिविंग, बॉडी बिल्डिंग, प्रोटेक्टिंग, आ गोटे कोन कहले?
प्रोटेक्टिव एंड रेगुलेटरी. प्रोटेक्टिव एंड रेगुलेटरी. प्रोटेक्टिव रेगुलेटरी होची सेम. बुझियला?
आगे
माने आमे जहां भी खाद्य बैलेंस डाइट माने आपण माने जदि की भी पचारी व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ बैलेंस डाइट माने आपण माने अचे डीएनएचई स्टूडेंट आपण माने जेहेतु फूड साइंस को पाठ पढु चंदी आपण तो आपण कहबे जे जो डाइट रे हमें ए तीनटा को जिंस रहिथिबो इन ए बैलेंस्ड फॉर्म, दैट इज कॉल्ड द वेल बैलेंस्ड डाइट. दैट मींस द डाइट शुड बी कंटेन्स द एनर्जी गिविंग फूड्स, body building foods, protective and regulatory. Protective regulatory means protection. It gives protection for protection to the body. Example, all the vitamins and minerals. जदि विटामिन ए रो डेफिसिट हबो आगो को जाय कि हमर अंधार कोन हबर संभावना अछि. जदि विटामिन डी रो कमी हबो आगो को जाय कि हमको ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस हबर संभावना अछि. ये सर नो तो एटा को प्रोटेक्टिव, रेगुलेटरी, प्रोटेक्टिव और रेगुलेटरी फूड. रेगुलेटरी फूड मींस कोन? प्रोटेक्टिव फूड माने हम जानिले हम बॉडी को आगो को कौन सी डिजीज रो हमको से प्रोटेक्ट करिवो. दैट इज द प्रोटेक्टिव फूड. एंड एग्जांपल ऑफ द प्रोटेक्टिव एंड रेगुलेटरी फूड्स इज द व्हाट? विटामिन्स एंड द मिनरल्स. बुझियो छी ना बुझियो नी?
यस मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
एंड आई जो रेगुलेटरी मीन्स कौन? प्रोटेक्टिव जोटा, रेगुलेटरी भी सेटा. रेगुलेटरी मीन्स हमें यह बुझिबा जे आम बॉडी रो जो सबुतक मेटाबॉलिज्म होची, हमर बॉडी रो जतिक जाक ग्लैंड रहची प्रॉपर एक्टिवेशन होची, जो नॉट अ सिस्टम रहची से सिस्टम भी एक्टिवेशन होची. बॉडी रो गोटे बैलेंस एटा हमर चालुची. जतो टिके भी इम्बैलेंस होची हमको डिसऑर्डर होची बा डिजीज हे जाउची. तो आमे जति आमे ए प्रोटेक्टिव या रेगुलेटर बॉडी को रेगुलेट करबो, बॉडी रो प्रत्येक फंक्शन को रेगुलेट करबो, चेक करबो एंड अंडर कंट्रोल रखबो. जति आमे ए तीनटा कॉम्बिनेशन हम जति डाइट नौथुबा. जेंति आपण माने कहले खाली पल्सेस हमें खाइलो, खाली पल्सेस खाइले केमते हो? गोटे डाइट रे बैलेंस मेंटेन करबा पई सेति आपण माने देखिथिबे ब्रेकफास्ट रे आ माने कोन भाबंती खाली ब्रेड टी गोटे आ जाम टी खाइ दे की पळेला इज इट द वेल बैलेंस्ड ब्रेकफास्ट हबो की बिल्कुल सेति पे आपण माने जेतोल हॉस्पिटल आपण माने डीएनसी पाठ पढला पर जो माने हॉस्पिटल ले जॉइन करिवो जे बीइंग ए डायटिशियन आपण माने देखिबे हॉस्पिटल डाइट रे ब्रेकफास्ट हो लंच हो डिनर हो आपण माने देखिबे सो वेराइटी मेंटेन हेथिबो नियत रूप अल्प टिके कोथरे सलाड थिबो किछि ग्रीन चटनी थिबो भात थिबो अल्प डाली थिबो तरकारी थिबो एंड माछ किबा मांस किबा अंडा थिबो जदि माछ मांस अंडा नथिला दिन आपन को खीरो थिबो नले दही थिबो नले छेना थिबो नले पनीर थिबो नले पल्सेस थिबो मंजी जातीय जिंस जेंति जुडंग मंजी रो गोटे तरकारी थिबो किबा छोले रो गोटे तरकारी थिबो किबा राजमा रो गोटे तरकारी थिबो किबा सोयाबीन रो गोटे तरकारी थिबो तो आमको जेते बोले भी आमे गोटे डाइट प्लान फॉर्मुलेट करूछंती प्लान आउट करूछंती फॉर एनी बॉडी ना वी शुड बी फोकस अपन द डाइट व्हाट इज द मेन कंस्टिट्यूएंट ऑफ दैट प्लेट तो we should focus upon the all each and every ingredients or being a nutritionist आपण मन देखि परिबे एटा तो भात खाइ देले से कार्बोहाइड्रेट पाइला डाली खाइ देले सेतरे कोन पाइले प्रोटीन पाइले बुझिला तो प्रोटीन ता हे गेला हमर कोन बॉडी बिल्डिंग बॉडी रो कंस्ट्रक्शन से तयारी करबा थर्ड वन हमर मेन कोन प्रोटेक्टिव एंड रेगुलेटरी आपण मन देखिबे कोन केते प्रकार फ्रूट्स वेजिटेबल या आपनकर प्रोसेस या डाल प्रोडक्ट केते कोन यूज हिची along with that fat is also highly essential for our body but that fat should be in the very good sources of healthy fats but regularly we are consuming the unhealthy fats okay that's why our LDL level TG level LDL means low density lipoprotein TG is the triglycerides cholesterol it will be increases due to the intake of the unhealthy fats regularly in the regular basis we are consuming the unhealthy fats in our diet but we have to but our body requires the what healthy fats because if we will consume the healthy fats it's very good for the functioning of our heart and for the functioning of our brain healthy fats is highly required because आपण मन देखिथिबे ब्रेन मुंडटा हमर एम्ति हेछि ना जदि आपण देखिथिबे बेले बेले जते बेले हमर एक्सीडेंट हुए मुंड फाटी गले ता भितर कोन बाहरे फैटी सब्सटेंस उडा को बाहरे ते ओडिया रे के जण कहंती दही बाहरी पड़ला सुनि छथि ना
यस मैम
तो सेइटा को आनी कि आपण देखिबे हाथ को चिकटा लागिवो दैट मींस आम ब्रेन रे अबाउट 60 to 70% ओनली फैट रे ही तयारी हिची बुझी परछंती but that fat should be in the very good sources of fat आपण मानकु हमकु हेल्दी फैट्स दरकार या कि हमर जत्ते बेले जत्ते प्रकार कार्डियोलॉजिकल कॉम्प्लिकेशन आपण मानकर होउची सबुर मुख्य कारण हो ड्यू टू द एलिवेशन ऑफ योर LDL level TG level LDL is your low density lipoprotein VLDL is your very low density lipoprotein and TG is your triglycerides okay and cholesterol all of you know what is cholesterol and our regular basis we are taking the unhealthy fats that is the one and only reason for that only it will increase your all these bad cholesterol understood all these parameters if it will be elevated in our body now it only causes your each and every kind of cardiovascular issues बुझिएला मु कोन कहूची आपण मानको
यस मैम
विश्वनाथ सर बुझी होची
yes ma'am बुझी होची
लक्ष्मी प्रिया साहू
यस मैम बुझी होची
देवश्री
यस मैम यस
हां तो हमको हेल्दी फैट्स हम कोठु पाइबा मु आपण माननको कहली आपनकर VLDL हो SDL सॉरी LDL हो ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स हो किबा कोलेस्ट्रॉल हो ए सब तक होउची पैरामीटर्स जतल ब्लड रे बढ़ी जाउची हमर लिपिड प्रोफाइल रे बढ़ी जाउची ताले हमर कार्डियोलॉजिकल इशू होउची ए सब को हमको कमेबा पई आपनक ब्लड रो लिपिड प्रोफाइल रे HDL रो वैल्यू को बढ़ाया को पड़िबो हाई डेंसिटी लाइपोप्रोटीन को हम शरीर रे एलिवेट करिया पे पड़िबो इंक्रीज करिया पे पड़िबो देन वेयर वी विल गॉट द good sources of fat what is the sources of good healthy fats जोटा में कोड पाएगा tell me the example of healthy fats
ड्राई फ्रूट्स
very good
मैम गुआ घिउ भी मिल परिबो
टिके टिके गुआ घिओ बट आजिकली कमर्शियलाइजेशन हो गलानी जदि प्योर कला गाई घिओ माने क्षीर वाला माने गाई वाला क्षीर पाउछन ताले इट्स गुड बट ताठू बेटर मते हाँ कहंतु आ कोन की जानि छन कहंतु
Seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, then rich in omega 3,
tell me the example of rich in omega 3 fatty acids.
then
मैम
salmon
फ्लैक्स सीड
fish.
हबो
Hmm?
फ्लैक्स
Very
सीड
good,
हबो
very good, very good, very good. All the seeds, na, specifically the healthy seeds, like the sunflower seeds, chia
Chia
seeds,
seeds.
sesame seeds, and your flax seed. All these four types of seeds is very good for your health. And specifically, na, for the women's, all these four seeds is very, very, very important. Those who are having the problem of the PCOD or PCOS, polycystic ovarian disorder, otherwise polycystic ovarian syndrome, otherwise any kind of gynecological issue, whether you may be affected by the any menstrual cramps or dysmenorrhea or leukorrhea or any kind of gynecological disorder, na, this seed therapy, seed cycle, it is called as the seed cycle. This seed cycle is very, very, very effective. जो मानकर पीरियड्स भी नॉर्मली होउनी एमती के जो मानकर पीसी माने सॉरी हाँ पीसीओडी थिबो कि थायराइड रो इश्यू थिबो आपण मन देखिथिबे से माने ओनली मेडिकेशन लेले ही से मानकर पीरियड्स आसी जाय 3-4 मास पारे गोटे थरा पीरियड हेउता हुई ना नहीं सेमते
यस मैम
तो सेमानक पई आपण माने रेकमेंड करि परिबे ए सीड थेरापी बुझिला सीड थेरापी होउची आपणकर जेमति कि सनफ्लावर सीड्स गोटे एंड आपणकर चिया सीड्स बुझि पाले पीरियड्स रो फर्स्ट 14 डेज को हमें 1 to 4 जदि गोटे लोकर नॉर्मली मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल होउथाय तले 1 to 14 डेज पर्यंत हमें ओनली देई देबा ए दुईटा सीड and the remaining from the 14 to 28 days पर्यंत हमें देबा sesame seeds and कौन सनफ्लावर सीड्स बुझिला फास्ट होची आपण फ्लैक्स सीड्स सहित पंपकिन सीड्स दबा हमें केते फर्स्ट 14 डेज 1 to 14 days that means during the secretory phase it periods होता है secretion होता है तापरे आसीबो फर्स्ट 7 days इज योर secretory phase next 7 days your ovulatory stage I already discuss about that ना आपण मानु पढितले ना मास्टर्स प्लान को कहितले का कहितले आपण मानु तो बते कहितले एबे केबे
Yes, ma'am.
तो मास्टर प्लान आपण मानु तो कहितले then first 1 to 14 days you have introduced these two seeds this first one is your flax seed another one is your pumpkin seeds and after 14 days you have to introduce the sunflower seeds and the sesame seeds केमिति नेबे गोटे गोटे स्पून एथो गोटे स्पून सेथो गोटे स्पून प्रथम 14 दिन फ्लैक्स सीड पंपकिन सीड पूरा 1 टू 14 दिन पर्यंत पीरियड्स रे नेबे देन 14 रु 28 दिन पर्यंत आपण मान नेबे सनफ्लावर सीड्स एंड द sesame seeds बा कोलार राशि जोटा तो आपण मन को कहले हेल्दी फैट्स को हमें बॉडी रे बढ़िया पई एचडीएल रो वैल्यू को बढ़ेले ऑटोमेटिकली एलडीएल वैल्यू टीजी ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स वैल्यू एंड योर वीएलडीएल वेरी लो डेंसिटी लाइपोप्रोटीन ये सब ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल बी reduced केमिति reduce हबो you have to in your diet you have to regular basis you have to include some healthy fats the example of the healthy fats is the avocado and all these seeds and your dry fruits walnuts avocado and that pistachio that kaju kismis all the dry fruits is contains the good or healthy fats and fish is also the very good sources of healthy fats fish okay but while you are choosing the fish na sabu bole hame below 1 kg wala fish ko hi hame recommend kariba patient ko jete bole more than 1 kg wala neba then again it will be increase your cholesterol level understood
यस मैम
तो आमे जिते बळे फॉर्मुलेट करिवा सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग एटार माने 2 कॉम्बिनेशन करि परिबा 4 कॉम्बिनेशन करि परिबा 3 कॉम्बिनेशन करि परिबा माने जेते अधिक कॉम्बिनेशन आपण डाइट रे रखुचंती पिला सेति की न्यूट्रिशियस वेल बैलेंस डाइट पाई परिबा तो सेति पे से टोटली डिपेंड करे मदर मानन को ऊपर आपण माने कोन कोन इंट्रोड्यूस करूचंती इन योर सप्लीमेंटरी फीडिंग यू कैन इन द 3 फूड कॉम्बिनेशन यू कैन इंट्रोड्यूस द peas ragi and rice carrot cabbage and rice dal and greens beans And rice, ragi, and chicken also you can introduce. In the 4 food combination, you can include the rice, green gram, dal, coconut, and brinjal, rice, wheat, carrot, and guava, rice, ragi, fish, and lady's finger, like this. And how you to modify the family diets for the baby. Take out the baby's food before adding chili or any other strong seasoning agent. In the diet, you have to take out the baby foods first. After preparation of the family food, first you take out some foods for the baby. After that, you can you can add the chili or whatever you want. You can add that, and mash the food with a clean wooden spoon, and soften it with the ghee also. I already discussed ghee is also very good for the baby health. When giving fish or meat to the baby, cut into the very small piece and take out all the bones. After that, you can introduce the fish or the chicken. Okay. And at the periods of 7 to 12 months, early morning you can formulate some breast milk, and you can advise to take some breast milk in the breakfast. You can after 7 months you can introduce the idli or sambar. In the mid morning you can introduce the fruit juice or biscuit and milk. In the lunch also you can introduce the mashed rice. सुना जाओनी
Yes, ma'am.
ଶୁଭୁଛି
ଶୁଣା
ma'am?
ହଉଛି.
Yes, ma'am. Sunaut.
Okay. In the lunch also, you can introduce the mashed rice or dal or rasam, like ghee, vegetables like this. And in the evening time, you can introduce the egg pudding or milk. Dinner, you can introduce the mashed rice, dal, rasam, ghee, fruit, like that. And the bedtime, you can introduce the milk, breast milk. Is very good. And after 1 year, that's very vital period. At that time, you have to introduce 3 major meals, like the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And between these meals, she also needs other foods, because he or she is growing very fast at the age of the 1 year. That's why you have to introduce the in the early morning. You have to give the milk, and the breakfast you can introduce the idli with the sambar, or podis, anything you can add. In the mid morning snacks, you can introduce the fruit juice or fruit soup also. In the lunchtime, you can at the age of the 1 year, in the lunchtime you can introduce the rice, dal, vegetable, and the curd also. And that curd is very good for the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. In the evening time, you can introduce the snacks and milk. Dinner time, you can introduce the vegetables, curds, rice, and dal. Don't think that if you will be give the curd in the dinner time, it will cause so many complications like the respiratory disease. Not like that. And the next is your how would we feed the sick child? କାହାର କିଛି ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଆସୁଛି କି? ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ ହଉଛନ୍ତି, ଟିକେ ସେଟାକୁ ଟିକେ ଆମେ ଇଏ କରିବା। ସମସ୍ତେ ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ମୁଁ କଣ କହୁଛି, ପଢା ହଉଛି?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And next is your during the sick period, what is the diet plan during the sick period? Okay. Specifically, unless until any kind of milk intolerance is not there, milk is the very good food for the sick children, and breast milk is the very best food for the sick babies. A mother should never stop the breastfeeding when the baby is sick. Okay. Don't think that unless until the mother is not affected by any kind of infectious disorder or any kind of dreaded disease, the mother will not stop the breastfeeding, because during the sick child, during the sick period of the child, this breast milk is highly required. And guide to feed the child who has diarrhea. Mainly during the diarrhea child, you have to introduce to give some extra fluids, plenty of fluids, and ORS, oral rehydration solution. And how we will prepare the oral rehydration solution? First, you have to take 1 glass of water and add 1 teaspoonful of sugars, and add small pinch of salt also. Mix and taste. It should taste like the tears, not so sweet, no saltiness. That is the homemade ORS. Okay. And that ORS is very good for the management of your diarrhea and the dysentery. You will not need to depend upon the pouches of the pharmacy counter. You can, if you want to prepare in your home, you can prepare very easily also. and the sick child may not want to eat. The mother should try very hard to get him to eat, and she should give foods which are very easy for the swallow and like thick porridge or the breast soaked in the milk, bread soaked in the milk also. And sometimes she should be give some yellow and orange vegetables cooked and the fruit like the papaya, mango, and plenty of fruits. And the sick children need plenty of tender, loving care also. Okay. And if when the child have infection, they need good nourishing food. And the malnutrition makes the infection worse, and infection makes malnutrition worsen further. Understood? That's true, na? ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ଏନି ଡିସଅର୍ଡର ହଉଛି, କୌଣସି ଡିସଅର୍ଡର ହଉଛି, ରୋଗ ଆମର ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହଉଛି, ଆପଣ ମାନେ କେବେ ଭାବିବେନି ଯେ ପିଲାର ଇଚ୍ଛା ନାହିଁ ତ ଆମେ ସେ ସମୟରେ ଖାଇବାକୁ ଦବା ନାହିଁ, ବିକଜ ପିଲାକୁ ସେଇ ରୋଗରୁ ଓଭରକମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତାକୁ ହାଇଲି ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସିୟସ୍ ପ୍ରୋଟିନ୍ସ ହଉ, କ୍ୟାଲୋରିଜ ହଉ, ଦଟ୍ ଫ୍ୟାଟ୍ ହଉ କିମ୍ବା ଆପଣଙ୍କର କାର୍ବ ହଉ, ସବୁ ଜିନିଷର ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ବହୁତ ଜ୍ୟାଦା ବଢି ଯାଇଥାଏ। ବିକଜ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଅଧିକ ପ୍ରୋଟିନ୍ ଖାଇବା ସେ ସମୟରେ ଏଣ୍ଡ ଅଦର ଭଲ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିଏଣ୍ଟ ମାକ୍ରୋ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମାଇକ୍ରୋ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ୍ ନବା, ତାହେଲେ କ'ଣ ହବ, ସେଇ ଉଣ୍ଡଟା ହିଲିଂ ହବା ପାଇଁ, ସେଇ ଡିସଅର୍ଡରକୁ ଆମେ ଓଭରକମ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଇଜି ହବ। ଇଭେନ୍ କାର୍ସିନୋମାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ, କ୍ୟାନ୍ସରରେ ମଧ୍ୟ, ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ ନା? ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ତ ଆପଣ ସାଇନ୍ସ ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି ନା। ଆମକୁ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଦରକାର ଯେ କ'ଣ ଡିସଅର୍ଡର ହେଇଛି, ଏଇ ଡିସଅର୍ଡରରେ ଆମେ କୋଉ କୋଉ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଆଭଏଡ୍ କରିବା ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଆୱାର ମେନୁ ପ୍ଲାନ୍, ଏଣ୍ଡ କୋଉ କୋଉ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଆମେ ଇଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଡ୍ୟୁସ କରିବା ଆମ ଡାଏଟ୍ ବା ଆମର ମେନୁରେ। ଆଉ ଯେତେ ୱେଲ୍ ବାଲାନ୍ସ ଡାଏଟ୍ ଆପଣ ନେବେ during the sick period or during the any kind of infection or during the any kind of illness, तो आपनको रिकवरी ମଧ୍ୟ ସେତେ ଶୀଘ୍ର 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 ହେଇ ଚାଲିବ। ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And what is the preschool age called as the critical period in the development of the food habits? Because during the preschool child is very active because they are doing the jumping, climbing, and the running. And this is a stage when active movement increases in preschool, and they are increasing the imagination and the curiosity also. They start limitation adults, parents, and need to be careful during their family meals times because children's imitate their parents. These children are beginning to for that definite responses to various foods, multiple factors like social, cultural factor, availability, economics, mother's nutritional knowledge play a crucial role in the forming lifetime food habits of the children. And what is the good nutrition during the preschool children? And what is the science of the good nutrition? गोटे प्रीस्कूल चिल्ड्रेन गुड न्यूट्रिशन पाउची बोले हमें केमती जानिबा?
by seeing his activity.
हाँ, कौन कहंतु?
Eyes are pink.
Very good.
Our gums, teeth and gums are pink or light pink.
Very good.
Madam, good appetite.
Very good. बहुत बढ़िया आंसर. Then
Or breathing breathing.
Ma'am, memory, sharp memory.
very good. एटा में मते बहुत भलो आंसर, पॉजिटिव आंसर. मेनली तारो ब्रीथ निहाती रूपे फ्रेश होतबा दरकार. Muscles are firm and well developed also. Fingernails are pink. Okay. Teeth are very clean, well formed, and free from the cavities. And eyes are bright and clear with the inside lowest eyelids and the mouth bright pink color. Skin is clean, smooth, and soft. Weight in proportion to the height and age. Posture is very good. ए सब जदि थिबो ताले हम ताको कहबा जे गोटे गुड न्यूट्रिशन से पाउची बोले. How can we monitor the growth of a
Ma'am,
child?
outside phone to ma'am, outside phone.
आउथरे कहली फर्स्ट थिंग हैला सी जहार भी हम देखुछंती प्रीस्कूल चिल्ड्रन, फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट ना पोस्चर शुड बी इन ए वेरी गुड पोस्चर. ओके, तरे ठिया बा बसीबा सोइला बला ठीक पोस्चर रे सोची कि जदि से जदि प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिशन पाउथबो से पिला निहात रे तार पोस्चर मते ठीक ठाक रहबो. वेट इज इन प्रोपोर्शन टू द हाइट एंड एज. हाइट और एज को देखी बॉडी रो वेट मते ठीक हबा दरकार. Skin is very clear, smooth and soft. Eyes are bright and clear with the inside lowest eyelids. That means bright pink. A tongue is pink in color and uncoated and moist. Okay. If that patient, if the tongue is coated, na, then there may be the deficiency of some vitamins and the minerals in the diet. Fingernails are pink, teeth are clean, well formed, and muscles are firm and well developed. Okay. Finally, breathing is fresh. Breathing system should be very fresh. These are the signs of the good nutrition. Okay. And how can we monitor the growth of a child? Healthy children must grow very steadily. Okay. They must have the enough of the right kinds of food. And when the children do not get the enough food, or when they get the wrong kind of foods, then they become malnourished. And when a child is well nourished, he will grow well. And we will tell that he is well nourished and growing when he puts on weight also. The infant's weight about increases to 3 times the birth weight at the 1 year of age. You remember this point? The infant's body weight should increase to 3 times the birth weight at the 1 year of age. Okay. ताहले हमें ताको कहबा जे स्टैंडर्ड तार वेट ठीक अछि बोली.
मैम आ टिके रिपीट करंतु इन्फेंट्स बॉडी वेट शुड इंक्रीज.
हाँ, जदि जेतेबेले छुआ जहाँ जन्म होता है जतिके वेट नहीं कि 1 year हेला बेलू तार 3 गुण होइतिबा दरकार. जदि आपनका छुआ 3 kg नहीं कि जन्म होइछि 1 year बेलू तार केते केजी तार 3 गुण 3 into 3 केते हवा दरकार. मोर देन 9 kg जदि हेछि ताहले तार स्टैंडर्ड बॉडी वेट बोली हम ताको सेठी कहबा. जे ताठु कमी जाउछि ताले ताको हमें कहबा अंडर वेट एबा तार माल नरिश रहिछि बोली. जानि हला?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. ग्रोथ मॉनिटरिंग किए करछन हमरा प्रत्येक Anganwadi center hochi na. The growth of the young child can be monitored at the Anganwadi center, and which are established all over the country. Okay. What's the direction of the growth curve? Showing the child growth. What thai na graph what thai से what chart what देथांती. যদি से चार्ट अनुसार तार ग्रोथ भल होता है ताले हम ताको पॉजिटिव ग्रोथ तार बॉडी बॉडी चली सेठु जदी फ्लक्चुएट करथे ताले ताको अंडरवेट बा मालनरिश बोली हमें कहबा ना. To check whether the child is growing properly or not, what's the direction of the growth line means curve jo thai seta, and emphasis is always on the direction of the children's growth curve. If it is going on the parallel and close to the lines for the normal children, that is all right. If the curve is flattened, the child is not growing it danger. If the curve is going down parallel to the lines, then the child is losing weight. Okay. And now I will discuss about that. What is the very common nutritional problems in the preschool children? That means there are the different kinds of nutritional problem which affect the child. The most common for some malnutrition is the protein energy malnutrition. During the preschool children, they are very prone towards the protein energy malnutrition. Due to the protein energy malnutrition, the disease is occurred, and that disease is called as the marasmus and the kwashiorkor. ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ମୋ କଥା?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And the second nutritional deficiency problem is very common. This is the iron deficiency. Due to the deficiency of iron, anemia is a very common. And the third is the vitamin A deficiency. Due to the deficiency of vitamin A, xerophthalmia. Vitamin A deficiency, it causes the xerophthalmia. ଆମର ସ୍ପେସିଫିକାଲି ଯଦି ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନାଲ ର ଡେଫିସିଟି ରହୁଛି, ପ୍ରପର ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ୱେଲ୍ ବାଲାନ୍ସ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ଜଣେ ନ ନେଉଛି ତାହେଲେ मेनली प्रीस्कूल चिल्ड्रन मानकर एनीमिया देखा जबार संभावना रहुछि. एनीमिया होछि आपण मानकर आयरन डेफिसिटी रो. देन पीएम प्रोटीन एनर्जी माल न्यूट्रिशन पे आपनकर क्वाशियोकर होछि किबा मारास्मस होछि. विटामिन ए डेफिसिटी पे आपनकर जेरोफ्थाल्मिया होछि. बुझियला? सुना जाउनी ना बुझियोनी ना असुविधा होछि?
Yes, ma'am.
नो रिएक्शन नथिंग. खाली मु तो बहुत जोर से चलैछि मोर. आपण मानकर तो सेही अनुसार टिके रेस्पॉन्स रहबा दरकार ना.
मैम लेखा
लेखी बजे पार्टी डो गए बंद करे पार्टी तो फील करिबा ना. पार्टी तो निहत मैडम मैडम पचारथिन माने निहत पे ना मैडम हमें बुझिलुनु ना मैडम हमको सुना गलन. मु कोन बुझिबी कोन मु केमते आगु बढ़िबे ओतरे ना. मु खाली कहि पे पळेबी पचारिबी ना किछि.
नहीं, ma'am.
आपण माने जहा कहबी मु सेया करिबी हैला. Protein energy malnutrition. Protein energy malnutrition is otherwise called as the PEM. Okay, PEM. What is PEM? Now, being the underweight for age is a very common form of malnutrition in the very young children, and this is the first signs of type of malnutrition. But for marasmus and the kwashiorkor, in particular, the underweight child could become severely malnourished. In the case of both in kwashiorkor and marasmus, the particular the underweight child could become the severely malnourished, and such a child may get infection very easily. Okay, and the first signs of both kwashiorkor and marasmus, protein energy malnutrition is the growth failure. The child is thinner or shorter than the normal, and growth failure can be seen most clearly on the child growth chart, and weeks or months before a child looks like a case of the malnutrition. He must have stopping the growing. Therefore, the mother need to be helped by the community worker, means that the ANM, to maintain the growth chart of their children. And this helps mainly to detect the malnutrition at a very early stage. Okay, and the community workers should be able to identify the children with the malnutrition at the earliest possible stage in order to cure them more effectively. And mainly the severe forms of the protein energy malnutrition are described two types. Marasmus, one is the marasmus and another one is the kwashiorkor. And what is the signs and symptoms of marasmus? Marasmus ର ଲକ୍ଷଣ କଣ କଣ? Mainly marasmus ହେଲେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର growth ହିଁ ପିଲାର ହବ ନାହିଁ, stop the growing, and very skinny very skinny and thin with no fat. ତା ଶରୀରରେ କୌଣସି ବଡ fat ହିଁ ନଥିବ, and ତାର ସବୁ ଯାକ ସ୍କିନ୍ ଆଉ ହାଡ଼ ଗୁଡାକ ପୁରା ଅଣ୍ଡରୱେଟ୍ ହେଇକି ପୁରା ଜଣା ପଡୁଥିବ, and ଦେଖାଯିବ ଗୋଟେ ବୁଢାର ଫେସ୍ ଯେମିତି ସେଇଭଳିଆ ଦେଖାଯିବ, and are always hungry. ସବୁବେଳେ ଭୋକିଲା ଭୋକିଲା ଫିଲ୍ କରିବ। And the skin and bones are very much underweight, and the face যদি আমি দেখিবা তাহলে গোটে মানে বয়স্ক লোকর ফেস ভলিয়া দেখাଯିବ, and always he will feel the hungry also, and bellyটা বেলে বেলে পেটটা বাহারি আসলা ভলিয়া দেখাଯିବ। these all are the signs and symptoms of what? marasmus। ফার্স্ট হচ্ছে তার গ্রোথ হি প্রপারলি হবনি, যেতিকি গ্রোথ হইতিব সেতিকি গ্রোথ রে রহিଯିବ। स्किन रे टोटली फैट ही नथिबो, चमड़ा पूरा धड़धड़ ହେଇକି देखा जाउथबो। स्किन बोन्स आर वेरी अंडरवेट, and face looks like the old person, and always feeling the hungry, and pot belly टा बाहरी जाइथिबो, and many children get marasmus।
इंडिया जो कहते कि सेटा जो रोगटा इंडिया भଳି
सेई टाइप रो सेटा एक्जेक्टली ओडियाटा तो मु कहि परिबिनी, बट देखिले ही आपण माने जानि परिबे, बुझि पाले। Many children get the marasmus between the age of 6 to 14 months, and during the weaning period, and from the age of 4 to 6 months, all babies need more food in addition to the breast milk. What is kwashiorkor? In the kwashiorkor na start later age than the marasmus, and it starts between the age 18 to 48 months। सेटा early देखा जीवो कोडा marasmus, एटा generally हमरो 18 to 48 months भीतर हमरो देखा जीवो, and 80 months seriously sickness, especially when there are the added complication of the infection, it needs immediate and urgent medical treatment in kwashiorkor। In this case also stop the growing, and very thin upper arms, and soft flabby muscles also, have cracked and peeling skin, and thin reddish hair also, are unhappy and often peevish and may not want to eat। okay, and body swelling, ओडेमा भी मानकर प्राय ओडेमाटस देखा जीवो, especially on the legs and feet, and sometimes on the face also। okay, माने पेटरे भी देखा जाई पारे, फीट रे भी देखा जाई पारे, किंबा अपन का फेस रे भी आसी पारे ओडेमा। एंड अपर आर्म रो किछि भी मांस नथिला बेले हाथ जाक खाली माने पूरा पतला है कि देखा जीवो, फ्लैबी मसल्स सब, एंड हाथ गोड़र सब जाक स्किन गुड़ाक पूरा क्राक हो, स्किन गुड़ाक पूरा पतला है कि रेडिश लगे, एंड आपणकर अनहैप्पी केबे मध्य पिला सब माने तार गोटे हैप्पी स्टेट रे से रहउन दिस आर द साइंस एंड सिम्पटम्स ऑफ द क्वासियोकर एंड मारास्मस and children who are like to become the malnourished mainly there are number of factors playing a role for the cause of the PM. That means the reason of the PM is so many reasons. Out of that mainly na underfeeding during the 6 to 4 years, which is gets growing period. Okay, underfeeding and larger family size like sex and birth order result in inadequate food distribution, and close spacing between the children and working mother cause poor attention of the mother in feeding young children, and repeated pregnancies results in poor maternal health. Repeated pregnancy results in the poor maternal health, leading to the inadequate secretion of breast milk. Babies who are born small means that less than 2 kg, and babies who do not get enough breast milk from the various region, and improper weaning practices and weaning food also. Sex differentiation in feeding results in the female and child suffering also. Due to that also they may be affected by the PEM, and a repeated attack of the infection during the childhood. Poor families often cannot afford or buy the grow enough food for everyone in the family, and some seasonal variation in the food availability results in the limited variety of foods in the diet. That is also the one of the factor. And if the family or the community does not know how to feed young children, and the results often is improper food choices in terms of the quality and the quantity. These all are the main reasons of the PEM. And how can we prevent the malnutrition? In malnutrition, breastfeed the child as long as possible. Breastfeed is the very vital, and and from 6 months onwards, give the child as a mixed diet. That means introduce the supplementary feeding like the pulses, cereals, flesh foods, vegetables, and this will help the malnourished children to get the better quickly. Have variety in the diet from the different food group, which help to the balance the diet of the child. And feed frequently. This is a very good way of giving more food. A child with malnutrition needs 6 meals per day. He should get a good quality of food. Okay. Add fat to the meals and use the cooking oil to add more energy and to make the diet tasty also. If a child grow curve falls between the lowest solid line and the dotted line, the child is moderately nourished. If the curve falls below the dotted line, the child is severely malnourished. And what should we know about the anemia? How will we know that baby is affected by the anemia? Anemia is nothing. Anemia is a very condition when the body has too few red blood cells. That means if the RBC cell will be reduced or too little of the red pigment, hemoglobin, as you are aware, the hemoglobin carries the role of the hemoglobin is carries the oxygen to the all parts of the body for their normal functioning. Anemia is also referred to as having the weak and the thin blood. And how can we detect the anemia child? First, by the observation, by observable some symptoms is there like the pale and transparent skin. Okay, if the skin is transparent and pale in color, child may be very less active than the normal, and child may have the infection often, and the inside of the lips, gums, lower eyelids and are little pink or whitish instead of bright pink. These all are the symptoms of the anemia. And shiny smooth tongue, eyes look pale and dull. Okay, and pale pink and sometimes spoon shaped fingernails also. Swollen face and feet, rapid heartbeat, and feel like eating more, dark, chalk. These all are the symptoms of the केते पिला एंटी सब खांती तो सेतो बेलू को आपण जानिबा दरकार जे हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल बहुत कम अछि. एंड द शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रीथ, जो मानकर ब्रीदिंग प्रॉब्लम होताए, निश्वास नबारे कष्ट होताए, तो से माने मध्ये एनीमिया द्वारा अफेक्टेड. दीज ऑल आर द सिम्पटम्स ऑफ एनीमिया. ଜାଣି ହଉଛି ନା ଯାହା କହୁଛି ନା କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ଲାଗୁଛି?
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ
ବୁଝି
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ହଉଛି।
ବୁଝିଅଛୁ।
What are the possible cause of the anemia? The main cause of the anemia is आपण माने सबुबेले जेतबेले anemia को ट्रीटमेंट करिवे ट्रीट करिवे या काहा को किछि एडवाइस देबे रिलेटेड टू न्यूट्रिशन जे भी असला मैडम देखंतो एटा खाउची सेटा खाउची सब दोउची पिला को बट तार एनीमिया ब्लड रे हीमोग्लोबिन कम रोची तो प्रथम काम हैला आपण फर्स्ट सजेस्ट करिवे डीवर्मिंग पाइन any kind of worm infection losing blood inside the body through worms such as hookworm or the tapeworm may cause the anemia also and premature birth जो मानकर 270 days before जो माने छुआ जन्म होइतांती से मानकर मध्य चांस थाए एनीमिया हबार if the child was born before the term full term is about 270 days and before day if the baby will be born and too early he or she may start life with too small stores of iron also and maternal malnutrition. If the mother was anemic during the pregnancy, the baby may start life with too small stores of iron also. Inadequate intake of iron-rich food. This is also the one of the reason for anemia. That means you have to include if the child's main diet after 6 months is milk, which contains very little iron. I already discussed about this. He may get the anemia. If the food rich in iron, such as the greeny leafy vegetables, are not given to a young child regularly, he may get anemia. The child body cannot make enough RBC. It does not have enough iron. And the child who is growing very fast now needs more iron to make the blood. Okay. Children who are likely to become the anemia, children mainly born too early or born to anemic mothers also is the cause of the anemia and feed too long only on milk and infested with the parasites such as the either maybe tapeworm or the hooker and not eating a mixed diet with which contains the irons in the iron rich food and treating a child with the anemia. How we will treat the anemia child? First we have to give some iron tonic or give the iron tonic after a meal and give plenty of iron rich food. This is a solution for the management of your anemia. How can we prevent the anemia in the young children? First, for the as a prevention, first we have the pregnancy women should eat the different types of foods, especially those with the plenty of the greeny leafy vegetables, pulses, cereals, whole grain cereals, jaggery, liver, and all the animal product. And babies should not be fed with the tea because it slow down the use of the iron by the body. बुझीला आमे सेमानकु निहात रूपे चाहा कॉफी पिया पे मना करिबा and pregnant iron tablet for better availability of the iron in the body compared to the dietary iron. Not only it will depend upon the only the iron sources means iron rich diet, uh, but also you have to depend upon the what iron tablet also. Babies born too early, that means premature, need small doses of extra iron in the first 3 months of life, and these are given at the PSC also in the free. And fruit juice which are taste sour like the orange grapes help the body use the iron better from the food. This should be taken with the meals which contains the plenty of irons. Okay. And after 6 months, babies should be have a fixed mixed diet and which contains the good food sources of iron. And children should live in a very clean surrounding and use a clean toilet and wear the chappals where possible to prevent the infection. What happens in the vitamin A deficiency and what can be done to prevent it? Vitamin A deficiency mainly, vitamin are the substance or nutrient mainly essential for the good health. And vitamin A is mainly particularly essential for the normal health and the survival. And vitamin E is also very necessary for the normal skin as well as for the vision also. Mild deficiency of vitamin A in the child for a long period makes the child more prone to infection, and this infection, that infectious disease occurs again and again. And when the deficit is very severe, the eyesight will be affected. Initially, inability to see in the dim light may occur, and some children take a long time to adjust their sight when they suddenly comes into the dark room. In a very severe deficiency condition, the eyes undergo some changes also. Gradually, the white part of the eyeballs lodges in skin and becomes the wrinkled also, dull and dry. And some spots may develop in the eyes also. Finally, blindness sets in the cells. Okay, and less deficiency but chronic, increased morbidity and mortality, inability to see in the dark also, and severe deficiency of vitamin A leads to white part of the eyes losses in the skin and looks very wrinkled. Blindness may be occur. And vitamin A deficiency generally in the children, particularly under the age of the 5 years, it does not appear to be more serious during the adult also. And why this vitamin A deficiency occur? What is the reason behind it? Main cause is that if the pregnant woman diet is deficit of vitamin A, the newborn baby will have the problem. And artificially, the feed children are more likely to develop vitamin A deficiency. Okay. And children are not fed with the cholesterol, which is very rich in vitamin A and other substance which gives resistance to the infection. That baby may be in the future may be affected by the vitamin A deficiency. How to avoid the dangerous consequence of the vitamin A deficiency? First, the newborn should be put to the breast milk soon after birth so that the infant can get the enough vitamin A stores. And weaning of the supplementary foods should contain rich sources of vitamin A like the milk, egg yolk, greens, carrot, papaya, etc. And pregnant and the lactating mothers should consume the plenty of vitamins A rich food and to improve the vitamin A stores of the body also. In this vitamin A deficiency mainly increase mortality among the 1 to 6 years old children, and improving the vitamin A status of the deficient children increase their chance of survival also. And improvement of the vitamin A status reduces the severity of the infection episode, that is the diarrhea and the pneumonia also. That's why in the meantime, when the lady is in the pregnancy condition, at that time you have to administer very good quality of vitamin A rich diet. And during the after 6 months also you can introduce the in your supplementary feeding you can add the vitamin A rich sources. And how to overcome the malnutrition in the children? It is essential to introduce the following in the diet. How will we overcome the malnutrition? साउंड आसुची आपण माने बंद करून तो आणि डिस्प्ले घ्यायचे होते. सस्मिता मैम
मैम आपण पाखरे किछ ऑप्शन दे म्यूट करबाकू
ना ना मोर किछ नाही. आपण माने जो माने जॉइन करछन्ते आपण माने जदि सेठु माने एंटी ए करिवे ताले समस्त ही डिस्टर्ब हो. जहार जति किछ आवश्यक पड़छ आपण निजे म्यूट कर दियंतो. ओके एंटी कंपल्सरी नाही. आपण मानक जदि व्यस्तरी रहउछन टिके समय पे ये करंतु अदर मानन को डिस्टर्ब करंतु नाही. And guide to overcome the malnutrition in the children. Malnutrition को overcome करिया पे प्रथमे cereals it's essential to include the following diets in the balanced menu plan. First, you have to introduce the dark green leafy vegetables, milk, fish, egg, meat, and seasonal fruits, seasonal vegetables also. In cereals, you can introduce the wheat, rice, ragi, pulses, oils, everything. Nutrition during the school age, adolescent, adulthood, and the old age. It's a very vital chapter. Okay, what type of nutrition is required during the adulthood, old age, adolescence period, and during the school age? What is the growth pattern in the school years? Are nutrition and learning related? Mainly, first you have to, during the school age, children are still growing, and although not as fast as their young brothers and sisters, growth rate vary widely between the sexes also. Girls usually outdistance boys. Children from the both sexes are usually very active and use of the plenty of energy every day. Psychologically, the begin moving from a dependence on parental standards to those of the peers. This is the step in preparing for coming maturity, and the self-growth pressure are generated for the self-control of the growth body. What should we keep in mind while planning the meals for the school children? First, for the school children, need the mixture of combination of the foods. Mainly the food pattern will be divided into 3 food groups. Every day, at least 3 major meals containing the enough foods from all the food groups, and will help children to develop the properly and stay healthy and learn well also. And their diet should also contains the foods rich in iron. And since the children tends to become very anemic, in order to help the children enjoy their meals in a pattern, should make food appetizing. And in the breakfast, a good breakfast is very important for the school children. If a school child does not have the breakfast before leaving the home, he will not able to pay the attention to the lesson in the classroom. Here, C may be existed. And the breakfast, the example of the healthy breakfast is either chapati or chana or butta dali preparation plus any seasonal fruits and milk. This is the combination of breakfast in your menu. First one is chapati. Chapati means not only regular basis you can take the chapati. If you are not interested to take the chapati, you can include the idli, sambar. Otherwise, that uttapam. Otherwise, you can take that any poha, upma, like that. But one cereals must be there. That means carbohydrate rich food must be there, because after taking of this carbohydrate only you can it can supply the proper energy and proper glucose to the brain. Then only you can able to sit in the classroom very attentively. Then only you have to concentrate upon your study. शुणी पारुचंती ना नहीं?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
तो आमे माने कोन कोचन किए गोटे एमती घरे दोउचंती एमती माने वेल बैलेंस फॉर्म रे ब्रेकफास्ट मते जण करना कोंती जी केति दोउथबे इवन लास्ट रे
मैडम मु दउची
मैम
कोन दोउचंती
मु परोटा करके दिए कि रुटी भजा दिए ता सारे कुदन फ्रूट्स रे कुदन एवोकाडो कुदन ड्रैगन फ्रूट ऑरेंज नले बनाना गोटे फ्रूट जहाले भी दिए और ता सारे ड्राई फ्रूट्स भी देई थे
और डेयरी प्रोडक्ट
डेयरी प्रोडक्ट सब दिन दिए नी काना तार टिके सकाळू जदी खीर दिनसटा खाउची तार पेटटा अपसेट रहउची मु राती टाइम टा ताको डेयरी प्रोडक्ट दिए
प्रोटीन सोर्सेस कोन रहले ताले आपनकर
प्रोटीन से बुट काबुली बुट हो कि मटर हो से को भी सिझा केतले केतले दे दिए सब दिन दिए नी केबे केबे
हां से ही मु कहूची वेल बैलेंस्ड आपनकर ब्रेकफास्ट पाए बोली आपण निहाती रूपे जेमती एनर्जी गिविंग जेमती किछि रखुचंती सेमती बॉडी बिल्डिंग एंड बॉडी कंस्ट्रक्टिव रो किछि रखिबे बॉडी बिल्डिंग एनर्जी गिविंग रे आपण एइतर आपण सुजी दियंतु सिमिया दियंतु या आपण पास्ता दियंतु किबा एवडा तो मु केबे भी कहबिनी रिफाइंड सीरियल्स आपण दियंतु रिफाइंड सीरियल्स को छाडी कि आपण अदर जो सीरियल्स रहिला जेमती कि आपणकर ओट्स हो कि मिलेट्स हो कि रागी हो कि रुटी हो कि ब्राउन रो जो चूड़ा मिलुଛି से चूड़ा हो अदरवाइज आपनकर चकुली हो कि इडली हो तो केते वेराइटी ऑफ वेराइटी तो सीरियल्स रही से भीतर आम रिफाइंड सीरियल्स को छाड़ी कि जो सीरियल्स टिके ब्रांड थी से भाया सीरियल्स को निहाती रूपे रखा इन द ब्रेकफास्ट not only cereals को हमें include करिवे breakfast रे along with that you have to include some good sources of protein because protein is highly required in the breakfast in the protein sources जदि आपण माने क्षीर जदि न दोचंती ताले दही भी आपण लंच रे रखंतु किंतु ब्रेकफास्ट रे आपण क्षीर हो दही हो कि छेना हो कि पनीर हो जदि ए सब भी किछि न होची सबुठु बेस्ट होची आपनकर स्कूल गोइंग चिल्ड्रंस मानक पई पाठ पढुवा पिला मानक पई बॉइल्ड एग इज द वेरी गुड सोर्सेस ऑफ protein and it is also very good for the brain maturation brain development and body and our जो हमरो मेमोरी पावर को एनहांस करिया पे मते बहुत बढ़िया काम करे एंड जते बळे हमें एक को दोचंते विथ यक सहित दवा पे ट्राई करते एमती भाबंतु नि हम यक को डिस्कार्ड करी को व्हाइट पार्ट विल प्रोवाइड ओके जदि व्हाइट देबे ओनली इट विल गेट द व्हाट ओनली हम पाइबा कोन सिथरो प्रोटीन ही पाइबा बट अदर जो मैक्रो माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट विल बी रिच इन द cholesterol everything cholesterol is also required for our body because without cholesterol our tissue repair hei paribani without cholesterol our bile properly secretion hei paribani without cholesterol our liver proper pigment guda ko झरिबो नाही and without cholesterol हम हार्मोन रो लेवल भी मेंटेन हेई परिबनी हार्मोन भी बॉडी रे रिलीज हेई परिबो नाही दैट्स व्हाई कोलेस्ट्रॉल इज हाईली रिक्वायर्ड तो हम कोलेस्ट्रॉल गोटे बॉइल एग करी के दे परिबा कि एग को आपण मु आनिली मैडम जाई की अल्प आनी थी उधर से बोले तो सी
मैडम मु टिके कहली
कौन कहले मैडम
मैडम मु टिके कहबी माने मॉर्निंग रे से जोटा आपण कहिले टिके क्षीर रे ओट्स पत्र की तादरे काजू पिस्ता किशमिश आ डेट्स टिके पकाऊ प्लांट ऑल प्लांट प्रोटीन दो सेटा को शेक करके गोटे गोटे बड़ ग्लास टे हम स्टार्टिंग रे दो तापरे जहाँ टिफिन रे कोदिन परोटा भजा कोदिन इडली तरकारी कोदिन तड़का रोटी एमती दो
हां सेटा ही तो आपण देखिले रुंदती जी अछि केते सुंदर ब्रेकफास्ट तांको घरे माने पिलां को दोउचंती आउ सेटा निहाती से गोटे बैलेंस फॉर्म रे दोउचंती बट डिवॉइड ऑफ प्रोटीन प्रोटीन ता ही म देखुची तांकर कम रहउची बट प्रोटीन इज हाईली रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज़ स्कूल गोइंग चिल्ड्रन मानकर बॉडी द कंस्ट्रक्शन हेबा दरकार नॉट ओनली बॉडी कंस्ट्रक्शन along with the body construction अदर मेटाबॉलिज्म पाई मध्ये बॉडी रे प्रोटीन निहाती रूपे दरकार सेति पहिले आपण एतर एक को पोच फॉर्म रे ऑर्डर करी कि न ऑमलेट फॉर्म रे करी कि अदरवाइज बॉइल फॉर्म रे तो मु कहले सीरियस पहले सेल्स प्रोसेस जहाँ पल्सेस से एनी करबनी कि बुट डाली तरकारी देबे कि छोले तरकारी दे देबे कि मटर तरकारी दे देबे कि बुट रे चटनी बने कि पिठा सहित करके दे देले तो हे गला आपनकर कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ प्रोटीन एंड द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ व्हाट कार्ब हे गला बट ता सहित आपनकर एंटीऑक्सीडेंट कोठु पाइबे protective regulatory कथा मु कहिथिले ना इन द बैलेंस डाइट you have to include the protective and regulatory types of food in the protective regulatory types of food you have to include the seasonal and regional fruits and vegetable fruits specifically you have to include the seasonal and regional vegetable जो fruits जोटा अपन का मार्केट है देखोंते बे कोन विंटर चलछि इन विंटर you can got plentifully oranges mosombi and that what amla is also available in the market तो ए टाइप रो किछि गोटे फ्रूट्स अपन रखियो बट इन द कमिंग दैट when summer will be come at that time you have to introduce the either the ripe mango otherwise you can include the watermelon or any kind of आपनकर जोटे समय रे अवेलेबल सेटा को देबे तो मु कहिबा कथा गोटे ब्रेकफास्ट नियंत्र पे एति की वेराइटी हमें मेंटेन करबा दरकार किंतु हमें केही मध्य एति की करी नथांदे जो मु कथा कहली आपण क्षीर सकाळु कहार इंटरल क्षीर बिल्कुल इंटॉलरेंस सबन जदि आपण खाली जे जदि क्षीरटा खाउथिबे ताहाले से होतो आपनको इंटॉलरेंस ही पारे बट जदि आपण डाइट सहित क्षीरटा नेले आपण अदर ब्रेकफास्ट अदर्स ये सहित जदि आपण नोचन ताले केबे मध्ये आपनको कोन प्रकार इंटॉलरेंस सब नाही
मैम एक्चुअली झियो मोर जाउ जे 7 टा रे
नहीं मु आपनकोठु जेति कि सुनिली बहुत भलो दोउचंती बट आ जेति कि टिके मु मॉडिफाई करली रेक्टिफाई करली ट्राई करन सेति करिया पे बट मते लागो कि जे हमें मु डाटा देखंतु बहुत सारा जगह रे माने मु देखि छी पेरेंट्स माने कि एति कि ध्यान दियंती इवन ब्रेड जैम देकी मते छाडी दियंती जोटा कि मु बहुत तरह बहुत जगह रे बहुत ए रे मु टेलीविजन बहुत तरह मते आकु नै कि मु रिगार्डिंग कहछि आमे एमते 8 घंटा जाके पाठ पढि दिले पाठ मने रहि छी माने पाठ मने रहिया पे ब्रेन को ग्लूकोज पहुंचवा दरकार ग्लूकोज रो डेफिसिट आपनकर अलर्टनेस रहबेनी आपनकर कंसंट्रेशन रहबेनी पाठ पढारे क्लास रे मन ही लागिबोनी कारण ब्रेन को एनर्जी दरकार एनर्जी कोड पे जति वेल बैलेंस आपन न्यूट्रिशन न दे कि पिला को स्कूल को छाडी किसी लाभ नै से माने भाबंतुन जे आपनकर पिला एमति पढि के एसकी सब तक मन रखि देबो सेठी आपनकर एनर्जी दरकार तो गोटे बैलेंस आपन को तो डिनर रे टिके कम करके खांतु जहां भी खांतु डिवाइड करंतु खाद्य बट ब्रेकफास्ट शुड बी वेरी इन द प्रॉपर वे एंड प्रॉपर मैनर वेल बैलेंस फॉर्म में आपन देबा निहाती दरकार बुझी पल्ले मो कथा
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
आगे मैडम एक्चुअली मैडम मु भी फील करिची खाली जेतले में मिल्क दउथुलु सेते बेले टिके बेले बेले भी तांकू इंटॉलरेंस फील हेतिला किंतु जेबे ठरु हमें ताकू मिक्स करके दउचु एबे
किछि हबनी
काइना किछि होउनी कना हमें रात्रि रे खाउथुलु मु जानि परथुली मोर भी गट इश्यू होउतला पिलांकर भी टिके होउतला हमें रात्रिटा चेंज करके मॉर्निंग रे नउचु ओट्स सहित कोनो चूड़ा कोनो सागु सब बतरउचु चेंज करके सेटा ही बेटर रिजल्ट आ भोको होउनी प्रोटीन टा जेतु सफिशिएंट पाई जाउचु आ एते भोको लागुनी जे
वेरी गुड
आगे मैडम
सेही जिंसटा किंतु आमे सेही जिंसटा आपण पढुचंती बोली आ टिके बेटर वे रे बलसे जानि परिबे किए कोन कहिला कार कोन कॉम्प्लिकेशन कहार कोन माने पर्सन टू पर्सन वेरी करे एंड बहुत जिंस रॉन्ग जिंस को हमें ग्रहण करि थांती बुझि पाले ते जण कहती मैडम फ्रूट्स खाली पेट रे खाइले होची अपन सिंपली वे रे कहबे जदी फ्रूट्स अपन खाली पेट रे देखंतु फ्रूट्स रो तो केते वैरायटी फ्रूट्स अछि केते एसिडिक फ्रूट्स अछि केते अल्कलाइन फ्रूट्स अछि जोटा एसिडिक फ्रूट थिबो जदी अपन एसिडिटी जदी ब्लड रे पीएच ज्यादा कमी जाउतबो ताले अपन एसिडिक होबार चांसेस अछि तो अपन प्रथम डाइट रे लाइफस्टाइल के प्रथम अपन चेंज करंतु एंड डोंट टेक दैट फ्रूट्स एलोन अपन किछि गोटे नियंतु तापर नल फ्रूट्स नियंतु कोन प्रॉब्लम कोन हला बुझि परछनी मो कथा तो काउंसलिंग न्यूट्रिशन गोटे गोटे मेजर जिनस प्रथम काउंसलिंग आपण केते बेले करि परबे जेतबे निजे पाठ पढिते जेतबे निजे साइंस प्रति सेते अलर्ट थिबे निजे निजर डेप्थ थिबो से साइंस रे देन ओनली यू टू प्रॉपर्ली काउंसलिंग करि परबे गोटे जीव आपण को जहा कहिला ये सर नो कोन कहउचंती
यस मैम
So in the breakfast you have to mix rice means chapati chana preparation of the seasonal fruits or the milk you can include the idli or groundnut chutney or seasonal fruits or milk otherwise you can include the pongal or coconut chutney or seasonal fruits and milk okay this is all about your breakfast for the school going children and in the lunch also you can include the school children several carry a packed lunch to the school or eat the school lunch also there should be enough food provided to make the child satisfied and there should not be too many items because the child has to carry his lunch it should also be appetizing at the same time the food requirement have to be met mainly during the lunch time you have to include the mixed rice or dal plus vegetable other crispy item like the chips with the potato or yam or the banana curd rice or rice curd or green carrot etc fruits sweet dishes also otherwise you can include the khichdi also it's a very good well balanced diet plan also and variety in the model lunch can be brought by the altering the kinds of the dal vegetable fruits etc in the diet plan parents and children need to be educated about the fact that sweet snacks increases along do not make a nourishing lunch also सेमती लंच रे मध्ये आपण माने सेमती राइस दाल देन सलाड्स एंड फ्रूट ज्यूसेस एंड पल्सेस निहाती रे गोटे वीकली पल्सेस रा करी निहाती रखुतिबे आपण सब बेले लंच रे जत्ते बेले तो पिला बाहर को जाउ दैट इज सेपरेट थिंग्स बट जो दिने अधिक किबा कभी छुट्टी पड़िला सेही समय आपण माने निहाती रे लंच रो even not only I am not saying about the school going children but also those who are remaining in the home also otherwise working also आपण जितबेले भी लंच प्लेट आपण नौचंदी सेतबेले को आपण देखिबे आपनकर राइस क्वांटिटी को सब बेले बे जो प्रकार लाइफस्टाइल डिजॉर्डर देखा दोची सब बेले आपण राइस को पूरा जत्ते की राइस आपण कंज्यूम करचंदी तार मु कहिबे आपण को एटलीस्ट 30 रो 40% आपण कमे दियंतो एंड 60% नियंतो जति राइस नौचंती या चपाती भी जहां नौचंती मानेकर आपण एडल्ट अछंती तो 2 टू 3 चपाती नौचंती एंड दैट चपाती गोटे गोटे गुळा निहाती 30 टू 35 ग्राम भीतर हेतिबा दरकार नॉट मोर देन दैट एंड आपण बाकी कहले माने पचारि पारती मैडम एति खाइले आम केमती होल डे केमती रहबो काम केमती करबो हम तो भोक लागिबो भोक लागले अगेन आम से फास्ट फूड जंक फूड ऊपर डिपेंड करू नॉट लाइक दैट आपण मेन कोर्स जो रोची जो आपणकर राइस या आपणकर चपाती ताकू टिके कमे दियंतु यू हैव टू इंक्लूड इन योर डाइट दाल मस्ट बी देयर and in dal variety of dals is available in the market in each day you have to include the different types of dal in your diet and not only you take the dal in simple form in the dal also you can include the variety of vegetables is available in the market you can include that vegetables along with the vegetable also during the preparation of the dal you can include the any kind of greeny leafy vegetable like the palak otherwise you can include the coriander leaves also so it will enhance your what not only it will enhance the appetite but also it will increase your what body total your that vitamins minerals you will got from the that dal and not only that dal will be if dal is not present in your diet now you can in the replacement of the dal you can include the what that curd otherwise that buttermilk in the charge form otherwise in the curd you can prepare any other menu and in your diet protein must be there for the protein you can include the any kind of pulses and in the market so many different types of cowpeas chickpeas and horse gram dal every different types of dal the different types of pulses is there you can include in from that pulses you can make on curry otherwise in boil you can chole also you can prepare from that and if that protein regular basis you cannot include the everyday you will not include the pulses in your diet if you were taking the pulses in the lunch now in the dinner you can include the what soya beans otherwise in the animal sources of protein is plenty available in the market in the animal sources of protein you can include the chicken otherwise in the fish or the small fish otherwise seafoods so as per your choice you can include and in the protein also you very good sources of protein like if you are not interested to do the animal protein you can include the plant protein also and in your diet salad must be there and that salad must be contains the numbers how many different types of vegetable are included in that salad you have to focus on that only and in that salad also you can include the not only includes that vegetables along with the vegetables you can include the lemon and coriander leaves or any other podina leaves you can include that because from there you can got the vitamin A rich sources and it is also very good for the digest it is also digestive in nature it's also very good for the it acts as the anti-fluctuant activity also एंड जदि आम खरा दिन कथा देखुचे समय खाद्य निहाती रूपे गोटे ग्रीन रटनी जमीक इधर धनिया चटनी हो पुदीना चटनी हो ना आंब दिन आंबर चटनी हो कि गोटे निहाती रूपे रखिए ता सहित केबे केबे आपण निहाती रूपे खाद्य देखिए कार्ब कौन रहा प्रोटीन कौन रहा फैट कौन रहा केबे केबे आपण घरे रही समस्ते घर रही गोटे सिंपल गोटे सामान्य आपण मिक्स खिचड़ी बनातु जो कि सब तक वेजिटेबल्स ऐड करंतु डाली 2-3 प्रकार ऐड करंतु राइस अल्प टिके भात माने चावल दियंतु एंड सेतिर निहाती रूपे 2 चम्मच खंडे आपण घिओ टिके ऐड करंतु तो से गोटा करे आपण दही सहित मध्ये आपण आराम से खाइ दे पारे जोटा कि वेल बैलेंस वेल नरिश्ड एंड द बैलेंस न्यूट्रिशन आपण गोटे जिंस रे आपण प्रोटीन पाइ पाले कार्ब पाइ पाले हेल्दी फैट्स मध्ये पाइ पाले जोटा गोटे बैलेंस फॉर्म रे आपण नै पारिबे This is all about your what lunch. जानी होची ना नहीं आपनकर
yes ma'am
टमाटर दिन
आज्ञा मैडम
टमाटर दिन टमाटर चटनी नहीं पारिबे बेले बेले आपण भर्ता भी सेमती बनातु एनी आपण पाखरे सब बेले एमती मसाला फसाला देकी सब बेले करी करबा ये करबा ताकू टिके अवॉइड करी कि आपण सब जिंस को जंती पोटल हो बैगन हो टमाटो हो आलू हो ए सब को गोटे टिके हाफ बॉईल या बॉईल कर दे कि ताकू भर्ता बने कि ताकू मध्ये आपण दे परिबे जोथि कि आपण अदर किनी लीफी वेजिटेबल्स लाइक द कोरिएंडर लीव्स हो पुदीना लीव्स हो किबा आपणकर जो वृषंगा पत्र हो प्लेंटी लीफ ताकू टिके एवं ता सहित आपणकर जो डाली जातीय जिनस अच्छे जमी बुट डाली हो कि मुग कला मुग डाली हो ये सब आड कर प्रोटीन पाइबे एमती ना खाली छुंक टिके क्वांटिटी टिके बढ़े देवे आम आपण जो न्यूट्रिशनल साइंस न पढ़ुले जो जहाँ खाऊले जहाँ करुले अलग कथा बट बीइंग ए न्यूट्रिशनल स्टूडेंट आपण निहाती रूपे आपण घरे ही आप बहुत सारा चेंजेस आने पड़ो आपण को जो मैंने न नवाई डिनाई कले आपण न्यूट्रिशनली काउंसलिंग धीरे 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 गोटे पैटर्न को चेंज करने पड़ो जोटा काली कि हमको डिजीज होला जोटा हम इम्प्लीमेंट करवा कहीं आज आम इम्प्लीमेंटेशन न करवा ठीक ना भूल कौन कहते
Yes, ma'am. Clearly
Yes,
correct.
ma'am.
and this is all about your what lunch and in dinner also dinner may be in the one meal which the child can eat without the rushing mothers should encourage the child to eat also and they should pay full attention to eating so there should be no distraction around like other meals and dinner should be based on the good nourishing mixture of the foods from the these three food groups. That means that maybe you can in the dinner you can prepare like the lime rice, otherwise chapati, otherwise dal or fish, egg or meat preparation, vegetable preparation, especially the green leafy vegetables, seasonal fruits also cod if possible. You don't think that in the dinner time you will not consume that cod. Cod you can consume at any time, but that cod should be in the room. That cod should be prepared in the room temperature. Don't keep it in the fridge and directly you take out from the fridge and you can directly give the school going children and that causes the what any kind of bronchial complication otherwise any kind of respiratory disorder. This is all about your breakfast lunch and dinner for the school going children. बुझी होची आपण मानकर
आज्ञा मैडम मैडम
Which-
एई शेड्यूल रे
Yes,
आमे भी तो ऐड हे परिबु ना
कौन कहली मैडम
ए जो स्कूल गोइंग चिल्ड्रन विषय रे कहिले आमे भी तो से शेड्यूल रे
निश्चित निश्चित हाँ निश्चित निश्चित समस्ते ऐड हे परिबे आपण माने which nutritional problems are very common in the school going children and how can they be managed during the school going children the very common problem is the riboflavin deficiency problem and the iron deficiency problem it's very common that if the iron deficiency the anemia will be very common and this anemia is very pleasant but symptoms may not be appear parents must become very alert feed the children with foods rich in iron okay and riboflavin deficiency this is also observed in the children belonging to low and middle income group. The common symptoms of this disease are chiliosis, glossitis, angular stomatitis, fissure, and ulcer in the tongue of the mouth. These all are the symptoms of the riboflavin deficiency. जो हमारा B complex group रो vitamins, स्पेशली जो मैंने LIG ग्रुप रो थांती, MIG ग्रुप रो थांती, मिडिल इनकम हो कि लो इनकम ग्रुप लोक मानकर ए साधारणतः राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिसिट देखा जाए जो राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिसिट देखा हो साधारणतः आप देखिए जो सिम्पटम्स गुड़ाक राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिसिट हुए सी हूँ चिलिओसिस पाटी भितर हम ग्लोसाइटिस आपण जीभ गुड़ाक धला 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 होकर देखा एंगुलर स्टोमाटाइटिस पार्टी जो साइड कर्नर गुड़ाक खाई खाई जीव आ कर पिला फिशर गार गार है पार्टी कटी कटी जीव एंड अल्सर माउथ ब्लिस्टर देखा दीज ऑल आर द सिम्पटम्स ऑफ द राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिशिएंसी और बी कॉम्प्लेक्स डेफिशिएंसी and the diet of these children are generally lacking in the animal foods and the milk also but it can be managed by providing whole grain cereals and whole pulses and milk in the diet of the vegetarian diet okay and animal foods like the fish meat are not a must in the diet to overcome riboflavin deficiency snacks like the snack रे मध्ये आपण माने किछि किछि ए बी कॉम्प्लेक्स ग्रुप रो विटामिन्स दे परिबे जोतरे कि आपनकर ए राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिसिट मध्ये कमी जीव ओवरकम करि परिबे एंड ड्यूरिंग दिस स्कूल गोइंग चिल्ड्रंस दे आर आल्सो deficiency of the vitamin C and the deficiency of vitamin C it causes the what scurvy okay scurvy what is scurvy रे कोन भी आपनकर गम जो आपनकर गम माढ़ी रही से माढ़ी रो ब्लीडिंग हुए ताकू कहै छै स्कर्वी सी होछि आपनकर विटामिन सी डेफिसिट हुए विटामिन सी डेफिसिट मेनली सीन ऑन द वेरी common in the children. And mone rakhontu jota B complex deficit jota कहली riboflavin deficit रे चिलियोसिस हो, angular stomatitis हो, किंबा माउथ ब्लिस्टर हो, किंबा माउथ अल्सर हो, किंबा एनी काइंड ऑफ माउथ डिसऑर्डर ना आपण निहाती रूपे जहां भी बी कॉम्प्लेक्स दियंतु, जहां भी राइबोफ्लाविन दियंतु, जहां करंतु, बट एट सेम टाइम यू हैव टू पेशेंट को कहबे, पिला को कहबे वाटर इनटेक फ्लूइड इनटेक टाको जेंति डबल या ट्रिपल करिवो. जदि फ्लूइड इनटेक भी कमी छिवो ताहाले मते राइबोफ्लाविन डेफिसिट देखा जिवो. एंड विटामिन सी डेफिसिट रो आपण मानकर कॉमन प्रॉब्लम होची स्कर्वी. स्कर्वी ले आपनकर ब्लीडिंग गम्स हबो एंड इट्स वेरी क्रॉनिक डिजीज. The teeth may becomes loose due to scurvy na, teeth madhya आपनकर loss होबार chance अछि. Followed also it might generally result when the diet is lacking mostly na fresh fruits and vegetables. And people who eat the salads need to be worried much. And those who do not eat the vegetables or fruits for various reasons na usually have diet deficit in the vitamin C also. And this can be managed to a great extent by providing the amla and the guava in the diet of the children. Specifically जो season रे जहाँ vegetable fruits मिलती ताको आपण आके include करिवे diet रे. And this is all about your preschool, not preschool, school going children's diet. आज तो टाइम हे गलानी. नेक्स्ट क्लास रे हम जहाँ रहिला सेटा पढिबा. आपण माने समस्ते बुझी पारुछंती ना, काहर किछि प्रॉब्लम होची बुझी पारे. Again all of you
ସବୁ
are silent.
Yes, ma'am. बुझियोच.
ବୁଝିବା ହଉଛି ମାନେ
Okay. पढ़िबे टिके टिके घरे समस्ते हला. जहाँ जहाँ पढ़ेनी
Sure, ma'am.
जहाँ जहाँ डाउट थिबो भी मते आपण पचारि परिबे हला. ओके, एथरो हम क्लास को एंड अप करिबा.
थैंक यू मैम.
थैंक यू.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू